Good evening, everyone. That's the second time you see my face. How are we doing today? My name is still Mazi Ezoke. I say welcome, everyone, to this evening important broadcast. Again, once more, you're welcome. Join me as we start. Yeah, welcome once more. This is Moses speaking to us. How are we today, people? So let's gather, go and call your yard people. You know, when we are growing up, that's the way. How we know anyone who lived in a face me and face you is say you ask him, "Where are you going to?" Say, "I'm going to the yard," without knowing that yard is a place of storage. You know, someone is going to the warehouse. Yeah, it's actually called a place of storage. But, you know, we never knew better. So, for so many of you who have seen my t shirt, is the dotted t shirt. I think two people have marked out actually the two top fans I have here. I want Lauren Queen and Obinne Hanacho to quickly afterwards send me your address. You would be getting one of these t-shirts. I think we have it in gray and we have it in, this is black, and we have it in blue. So again, thanks to President Muhammadu Buhari. I like the t-shirt. I like the material, you know. I like the t-shirt. I like the material. It's a dotted one. Muchi Chipo said I'm a fan too. Okay, you know what? Before we start fighting over it, so that we will recover. And there, woman, as I'm watching from Limerick, Ireland. I've never been to Limerick. Okay. So before we start fighting over it, I think we would do it this way. Should we sell it? People tell me, should we sell it? Because maybe if we sell it, it's going to be based on first come, first serve. So if you tell me, should we sell it? No, that's actually, maybe the camera makes it look like navy blue. What I'm actually wearing, but it's slightly, it's XL, but it's, you know, it makes me, you know, I don't know. It makes me, you know, I think it's fitted, but this is XL. Maybe I need to eat less so that I can go back to L, or maybe go back to, okay. Someone says they asked a question. Please, can you repeat? I can't see the question, or maybe I passed it. I don't know. Sorry. So what's the question? It's Sunday Igboho released. Oh, okay. Now, we will talk about it when we start. For now, we are going to, you know, we're about to start. We just need to take a couple of comments. Yes, we should sell it, but free for 5 of your top fans. Exactly. Free for the. I've just told you, you know, I've seen, you know, the top fans, Obinifan Ihanacha and Lauren Queen. And also, oh, there is another one, Liz. I think it's called Liz Chuku. Sorry, people on Facebook. I think, you know, you are missing out. Okay, maybe I give 3 on YouTube because YouTube, these are the top fans. Liz Chuku. Also, Liz, if you eventually hear your name, you could, get send your details. Send your details to, via njenjemedia@gmail.com. That is the same email address for those of you who want to support us through PayPal. Now, I want to honestly appreciate someone who gave Njenje Media, supported Njenje Media through PayPal. Quickly, I need to pull the person's name. That's Maureen Ngokedi. Maureen Ngokedi, thank you very much. Your support through PayPal is well acknowledged. We couldn't send you an email. Try replying to that email from PayPal, but it came back. It bounced. Hence, have to say it here. We deeply appreciate that. Okay? So, can we quickly start with the conversation this evening? It's good to know he's released, but because news are going about is okay. On Igboho, before I start Igboho, I think there is one thing fundamental here, that it appears this government is not, this government doesn't find it funny with agitators. This government, I repeat, doesn't find it funny with agitators. Okay? So, for some reason, agitators are classified as terrorists, and they are classified as, I don't even know what else to, how to, get to what the what this current government is doing. Now, having said that, there is one thing that we have to know. While we have the right to, clamor and shout, it's just like you're sitting in a bus and someone walks in, steps on your foot. It is expected that you react. That's what makes you human. You react and say, "Hey, you stepped on my toes." Then you either say sorry, or that you are in a marriage and you're not happy with that marriage. I said this. Onyanimo, my size is XL. Send me one black, one gray. Have Okay, one black, one gray plus postage. Onyanimo, which country? I think, which country again? If it's Germany, one black, one gray is going to be how much? We'll charge you 50, not 50 quid. No, Onyanimo, I think you're in the United Kingdom. We'll charge you 50 quid. I mean, you're better than that. We can do that. We have, because I don't think many of you know, Njenje Media is actually headquartered in Enugu, with offices in the United Kingdom and Germany. I see when many of you say, Mazi, where are you based? Mazi is a world citizen. He's a world citizen. I'm a citizen of the world. I tell the Germans, ich bin ein Killersprotte. Ich bin in Kiel aufgewachsen. I'm a world citizen. I haven't gone to over 100 countries of the world. Hopefully, before I kick bucket, to see if I'm able to, finish them. If resources permit me, my next target is to make sure that I tour every single country in Africa, if resources permit. But having said that, we pray for good health. As long as there is health, then we'll see what life can bring, and we'll see how far we can go. So, people, if you're demanding for your size, We can obviously get you your size. I tried putting these t-shirts in the mesh section. For some reason, the mesh is being linked to my private account. I don't know why that's not working. But this is produced. I tell you, the beauty of this Onye Dot is it's produced. Produced. Where? Can you guess where? The heartland. The Japan. In the Japan of Africa. That's where this t-shirt is produced. You will not, the camera will not do justice to this t-shirt. If you see, it's like Versace. You know, the material is so soft. You know, some of you can actually use them as what's it called? German say tricot. Was tricot again in English? Jerseys. Yes, some of you can actually use it as tricots. You know, as jerseys. Yes, you see. I haven't. You know, we haven't decided how much to sell it. The question why we haven't decided, the reason why we haven't decided how much to sell it is because of postage. Okay, so this is really very light, especially now many of you in Europe that is so hot. It's good. If we decide, tell us how much we'll sell it. $15, $20. I mean, if it's in the mesh shop takes about $24 for such. But you can tell us how much we think we can sell it. One thing that I think is going to be very critical is the postage, because we're going to post it from Nigeria to someone in America, or if we post it from our office in the United Kingdom to, actually what we can do is, for those of you in Europe, because I don't know, we can post within Europe. We can post within Europe. Then for those of you in Nigeria, postage in Nigeria now, wow, I don't want things to get lost. But we'll find a way. For those of you in Nigeria, if you want it, we can send it to you. But for those of us outside Nigeria, where I know that's what, because I don't want DSS to harass you, you know, because when you when you wear dotted, DSS will see you and say, they would probably forget their president is the one that gave you the dotted one. I'm doing another one that's going to have, my left breast is going to be dotted, my right breast is going to be spare parts. If you don't like it, go to Asokoro, where there is constant electricity, look for a transformer without fence, and do justice to yourself, or do justice there. So, someone said, Maz, in Nigeria, don't tire personal. Exactly. That's why, welcome to my world of the great Igbo nation. Maybe this evening you understand why I have been consistently talking about the great Igbo nation. Unapologetically so. That's who I am. Whatever else is an addendum. It's, you know. So, once more, welcome to this evening broadcast. I am still Mazes, okay? Let us. Onye Nimo, you are smart. You're smart. Says I should put it on eBay. Okay. But if you put it on eBay, see the thing, eBay will take their eBay charge and you will still pay. So what we can actually do, for those of you in diaspora, you can send me an email to njenjemedia@gmail.com, send me your address. You still use the same njenjemedia@gmail.com and pay for the post, pay for it. Now, we don't need to pay eBay. We do it in-house. We can ship it for you. I think we have about 15. We think we have about 15 in the UK now. So that's either 15 or 20, I can't remember. But the quantity we have in the UK, at least for the first 20 people, you can get to you in Germany, Ireland, again, across transatlantic is what I do not know how much. Because he might want to send something from the United Kingdom to America, and it will. Somebody say, "Stop covering the dot." Sorry. Okay. Show me your chest. Then is that chest out? Is that what you want me to do? He said, "Don't stop covering it." Okay. Okay. Out. Jesus, you guys are demanding. You guys are too demanding this evening. What is it? Stop covering the dot. Stop doing this. Stop doing this. No let you walk up. No let una walk up. Eh? How much now? $35. Free 99. What do you mean? I don't understand. Free 99. Is $35 too much? I think it's too much. Come on. I think it's too much. I think $35 is too much. We'll do it for plus postage. We'll do it for £25, I think. That should be fine. Yeah, Belgium. Okay. People, before you start, if you want the t-shirt, send me an email. Send me an email at mazezoke. At mazezoke. Or at mazezoke@gmail.com. Or you use Njenje Media at gmail.com. So when you send an email to Njenje Media, use the headline t-shirt and your size. If you do that, 35 is too much. Okay, see, that's what I'm saying. $35 is too much. So let's do it £25, I think. £25 should be fine. Yeah. So if you do that, we would communicate via email. So we send it, but no, it's Laura Quinn. Laura Quinn, I think you've earned yourself free one. Maybe you didn't hear when I said it. Laura Quinn, Obinifana Cho, and Liz Chuku, 3 of you, the top YouTube fans, you've earned yourself free one. So Laura, you should Laura. Why did I say Laura? Laura Quinn. So you should send your details via Njenje Media. So that's 25. You see, for those of you in Europe, £25 covers your postage. Sometimes posting for small packages, posting from United Kingdom to Germany or Ireland will cost over £10. So sometimes that's it. But if you can pick it up in the United Kingdom, it's cool. You can, that 15 pounds should do it, I think. Yeah. So let's start. Okay, too much t-shirt talk. If you want t-shirt, please. Oyenimo says buy one, get one free. Oyenimo, just get one first. Do not be greedy. Just get one first, okay? Don't buy one, get one free. Just get one first, okay? We'll see. You never know. Before we finished with Onyedot self, Buhari, the next time he might address the nation, he might say something else. We'll produce another one, Now he called us dot in the circle, and I say I'm proudly Igbo, I'm proudly dot in the circle. You people saw what the daughters did. The daughters, spotted daughters. You saw what they did in Oba, how they urbanized the whole Nigeria. They were able to urbanize Nigeria. I need one in Maryland. Ooh, la 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 la. Okay, I'll find a way. You know what, people? Yes, I've test spring. There is no way. If I do test spring, right? Test spring is going to be minimum of 20. That is $24.99. That's I've done it actually, but I don't like. I got to be honest. I don't like the material test spring is offering me. I prefer this material because it's very light. It's like leather. I mean, it's like the material they use in doing jersey. That's the way it is. So that's why I prefer. We have white, gray. I think what I will do, sorry for myself, I think I have 4 colors. I have this blue, I have brown, gray, I have red and white. So pardon me. I need to be showcasing this so that those who think we are dotting the circle, so that when they see my face and they see the dot in the circle, the next time I'm going to be flying out of Nigeria, I will be putting it on, and I will make sure that DSS is looking at it, so that when DSS says, "Hi, you, come," I said, "Well, you called me dot in the cycle. If you think it's contraband, go and ask the person that called me a dotted man." I didn't wake up and call myself a dotted man. Someone called me dotted man. I'm only saying you called me a dotted person, and I'm only saying, well, I am glad that I am proudly one, that I am proudly a dotted person. I have no apology. Sorry, but that's who I am. You called me, and that's what I am. Spare parts dealer, I said, well, I do container. So what else can you call me? Bring it on. Because there are ways you deal with people. I think it's Mandela that once, I can't remember the argument. He was, during the apartheid, he was having an argument with a white South African. The guy said something to him. He said something very insulting to Mandela, but I can't remember the exact words. But the way Mandela turned that statement and responded to the white South African made him wanted to kill himself. Sometimes not everything you do by, you don't probably get things done by physical muscle. Sometimes actually, someone treats you in some ways. That's why when many of you are thinking that Mazi should be condemning what happened, the event in Alba, I found it very hard because a people have created their own world where if things are not being done, if they consider themselves that things are not being done right, why would they be arguing over things, consistently arguing over the same thing? They have moved on. So I have the right to move on. I have the right to begin to imagine that I'm a proudly dotted person, and that I'm an Igbo person first, and an African, and a citizen of the world. Anywhere we are in this world, you see yourself, it doesn't matter if you're Fulani, Hausa, Yoruba, Igbo, Kanuri, whatever, that we have to recognize that we are all humans, and that we shouldn't allow the division of the elite to begin to divide us the more. I told us a story about how when we studied in the Netherlands, a colleague of ours who, one of the directors from the Ministry of Finance in Nigeria, they came to do their own master program, and these guys were living in a hotel. Whereas myself and one other Igbo guy, myself and one other Igbo guy, we were living in Belgium, in a small town called Cannes in Limburg, right? In Limburg, a small town called Cannes. I think it's spelled Kanne. Every blessed day, I had a bicycle that I brought from Germany. So every blessed day, we have to cycle to Netherlands to go to lectures. And after lectures, we cycle back to Belgium. Reason is, houses in Maastricht were priced about 380 euros. Now, but I was able to get a house, or rather a room, in one of the hostels in Belgium for 160 euros. For me, as a dotted person with brain intact, I know I was in Maastricht for a specific period of time. It meant the little resources I had must be judiciously managed. I cooked, and I thank God, I rather thank my late mother who taught me how to cook, because there is no, sometimes I pity my wife because there is no soup on earth that I do not create. Even to a point, if you ask my children today, many of you who know me personally, ask my children what is their favorite dish. If you ask my first daughter, they will tell you they want what they call ezinifite stew. Because I started cooking it when they were small, and they grew up knowing ezinifite stew. Do you know what ezinifite stew is? Ezinifite stew is a combination of what the Germans call Zahnesoße, milk soup, and Nigerian tomato sauce. Made it with Indian curry. Is a combination of three. So made with Indian curry stew. So it comes out with a very distinct taste that I tell you, if my kids are not behaving, I tell them I'm not going to make zanes or, isn't if they stew. Everybody will start crying because they love it. But now my daughter has learned how to make it, so they can now make it that way. So I cooked while I was there. Eventually, the story I'm telling us, this guy came in, a very good friend, we're still friends today, but he failed his exam. Even he lived in a hotel. We dotted people, but we are struggling. You see something, he thinks they keep fit now from out. If you had ever trekked in Lagos, from Okota to Igboho Stain, you understand, say there are two. Wallahi. If you ever trekked from, what's it called? Igboho Stain, maybe towards Orile, one time everything locked down, you trek. Your shoe will be like, let me not mention the church, but one of them pastors. But what I'm saying is, in love, if we forget what the politicians are doing, whom I do profoundly call politicians, because they steal from us, they, as we were there, this guy had an issue, he couldn't pass his exam. So all of us, we came together. We knew how we helped him, that he scaled through that exam. And that is the spirit of communalism. But somewhat, when you are back here in Nigeria, it appears it's survival of the fittest. There is no feeling. There is, when people begin to question their Nigerianness, and someone wakes up, an adult, and says, why am I a Nigerian? What has Nigeria done for me? You see people being angry. What you do as a government is not to start flogging everybody. It's like marriage. If somebody says, I am not happy in this marriage, you imagine a woman, you paid a bride price, you live with this woman, and she says, honey, I'm not happy. What do? Do you start smacking the woman? Do you start arresting the woman? What do? You start a conversation. If you care, the first thing you should ask yourself, or the first thing you should do, will be to say, hi, honey, what happened? What's wrong? What have I done wrong? If genuinely you care. But it appears in Nigeria, the only time we see this spirit of communalism is when Nigeria find themselves outside the shores of Nigeria, as in the case I narrated that happened in Maastricht, the Netherlands. But in Nigeria, all you hear every day is Fulani herdsmen, this one. Sometimes the whole thing becomes so deafening. It also affects the mental being of the Nigerian citizens. It brings me then to the topic that I have this evening, which is as it says in the title, Igboho's arrests, right? Because I don't know, many of you, especially, I believe many of you have heard that Igboho was arrested yesterday. The truth of how he was arrested, that he was arrested in Benin, Republic of Benin, and immediately Nigeria, it appeared Nigeria applied for him to be, extradited to Nigeria. But obviously, it appears there was a legal, not legal battle because no one has actually gone to court, but at least conversation has started going back and forth. That's what is right in this case to do. But why am I saying this? That it appears that anyone who says this nation is not working, and many of you who have spoken to me privately, many of you who have conversed privately, many of you who have queried why the Yoruba should be agitated. And like I tell you in private, I say it public. I do not question the reason why Yorubas are agitated. You know why? I know many of you have told me, Maz, but the Yorubas have the VP. The Yorubas have the party leadership of the APC. The Yorubas have this, have the other one. And the Yorubas actually voted for the same man that they are now kicking against. I have also, in some quarters, asked the Yoruba that same question. And majority of them, as if it's something pre-discussed, come up with the argument, well, it was a mistake, now we know better. So granted that this was a mistake, do you now have to crucify the Yorubas endless because this mistake was made? Again, for the dotted people, we do not hate, but we have the right to make a choice. The same man came with Umezoke. The dotted people said no. He came with Chubo Kadibo. They said no. He came with Tunde Bakari. They said no. He came with Professor Yemi Osinbajo. They said no. So there is no argument to say, and I don't like it, because this platform is for everybody, especially everyone that considers himself an African, not only Igbo or Nigerians. I don't like the argument when we, want to push an argument and say that Igbos don't like Buhari as a person. I say, no, sorry, Igbos don't like Northerners. And I say that's arrant nonsense because Igbos voted for Shagari, Igbos voted for Yaradua, but Igbos didn't vote for Buhari. Why? Anyone who has something upstairs would want to sit back and find out why. Why was the same Igbos who did not vote for Buhari voted for Atiku? Yet Atiku is Fulani. Doesn't that, remove all these conversation about hate? Because I see nothing like hatred in it. It's the right to make a choice and the right to live with the choice you have made. In a federation, a federating unit where you have component units and people make their choice, the moment you win an election, you become a president for all, not a president, quote unquote, considered for certain section of the country. If you want to, if you say and genuinely you are a president of the whole nation, then a section or sections of that nation are saying, we want out, we want out. It's the right thing to do is to start smacking everyone. 2 days ago, we woke up and we saw that there was a Nigerian jet fighter that was reported missing. The Nigerian Air Force came out denying it, no, that nothing was missing, blah, blah, blah. And the report came out again saying that the jet was actually shut down by the government told us not to use. NCC will fine us. If we use terrorists, that we should use bandits. Okay, agreed. Shut down by bandits. So, Lai Mohammed and NCC, are you happy? The plane, allegedly, quote unquote, before you fine me, I don't have 5 billion or 5 million to pay you. Allegedly shut down by the bandits. Doesn't it worry you that anyone, any group that has the capacity to shut down a fighter jet, it should worry you that your private jet, your helicopters, your presidential air fleets, the commercial airlines, that no one is safe? Doesn't it worry us? Doesn't it mean that we should put more energy in getting down to those who have done that? Someone said, and again, it is true, last week Friday, or a week before, a military general was killed. A military general, 7, was killed. Now, someone asked this question. Imagine this military general was killed in Owerri or Oni. What would have been the fate of the people of Imo State by now? Wouldn't we have jets flying everywhere? But again, waiting we know. Waiting we know. Having said that, I will repeat, at the heart of every agitation lies injustice. Or, as Adeniyi Kunu would say, the foundation of every agitation is injustice. But I will, myself, Mazi, will say, at the heart of every agitation lies injustice. Address that injustice, whether real or imagined, it will come down. When people are agitating for Oduduwa Nation, Oduduwa Republic, I see a people who are frustrated, who are no longer happy. What you do is you get them to talk. When people tell you that the nation that you impose on them, they are not part of it, is it too much to ask for a renegotiated nation? Is it too much? Is it too much to say, okay, can we actually listen to your cries? It is very, if your son or your child that is less than a year old wakes up in the middle of the night and shouting, wakes you up, you would want to know why that child is crying. It is, you must have, you will fail in every element of your parenthood if you do not pay attention to a crying child at night. It's either the diaper is filled up or the baby needs some milk, hungry, whatever it is. But it is your duty as a parent to find out what is actually happening. Here in Nigeria, rather than do that, hey, stop, bah, 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 bah. I keep saying it. I've had people here, including Daniel Boala and all the rest. All we see is that invasion. Igboho's house invaded. Now, 2-3 weeks later, we lost 2 adults, two people lost their lives. And no one is talking about those lives lost. These are things that makes me sick. Meaning someone could walk into my house just now that I'm broadcasting, boom, boom, that's it. Come on. We'll think it makes me sick. 2007, people were killed in Afaruku, yet till today, no justice. In Nasarawa today, people, listen, students, children will be kidnapped. And everybody just goes their business as if there is nothing. As I said before, Igboho was arrested yesterday. He was trying to go to Germany. He was arrested at the Benin airport. One report has it that he was tipped off Another report has it that he was using a Benio's passport, which when they subjected it to forensic checks, they found out maybe there was some Oluwale-ish stuff going on there, and he was picked up. But there is one thing that is very pronounced there, and I'm not going to say much on this, but for those of you who would understand what I mean, it calls for deeper thinking. Igboho was not alone at that airport, because the moment you are arrested and demobilized, you are alone. People were with him. Those with him raised alarm. They rang Professor Banjia Akintoye, and they swooped into action. I'll leave it at that. I believe those of you who are deeper thinkers will understand what I mean by that. And sometimes I found it a little bit, annoying. Now, in this case, he has, or rather he was arrested. Report has it, which we have published, that he was released. But about while the broadcast with IPOB lawyer was ongoing, I heard in one of the WhatsApp groups where they said that it has been denounced that the release was fake. Again, I have no justification or anything to say that the release was fake. But what I can show us is a video, the report where, because many of you who know Ogundamisi, what's it called? Ogundamisi. Kayode Ogundamisi. I'll quickly share my my screen so that we'll see where the person being cited. Yeah. Okay. Ogundamisi. Okay. So I think that one has been debunked, but let me quickly, because it's good, while what we do here is we stick with facts, not emotions, not propaganda. Propaganda helps no one. The thing with propaganda is, you can easily be found out, but I'll share this with us. This is Ogundamisi here. So you can see this here, that Ogundamisi said here, Sunday Igboho is on his way to his destination, Yoruba group in Benin Republic, right? And here he says Sunday Igboho, aka Sunday Igboho, aka Igboho Osha, released by Benin's government. Now, according to this report, Chief Sunday Adeyemo released. We thank Benin's government for standing by. Hold on, let me see. Are you guys seeing it properly? Let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay, you can see that here. So this, this is what Ogundamisi actually, tweeted. So, and that's where many people. So this Yoruba group, and the Yoruba group is the Yoruba National Global Directorate. Were the people that said that he was released. Now, about an hour ago, this also came out saying Sunday Igboho not released by Benin Republic. Lead lawyer Yomi Aliu to BBC Yoruba. Again, for some of you who hate BBC, I say, being in this business for so many years, I know if you want to stick with facts, there are elements that you have to listen to BBC. It's not about emotions. So you can see here that the Sunday Igboho, according to many of you who would say Sunday Igboho arrest, Ibereri ti opo ni beririni, pese won ti fi Sunday Igboho sile. So Sunday Igboho, according to this thing, is not released. So he's still with the police, the Benews police. Now, one of the Yoruba professors told me this evening that he would be happy to see Sunday Igboho sent back to Nigeria. You know why he said that? He said that they want to start another agitation that would be legal battle. That if they bring Sunday Igboho back to Nigeria, Nigeria will see a legal battle that has like never before. That you will see SANs. Probably you might see up to 1,000 SANs. Everybody coming together to like a show of force. I say that remains to be seen. Okay, that remains to be seen. Bottom line is, like I keep saying, bottom line is head or tail. There is one thing that I think that is fundamental. You know, you might disagree with all the agitators. You know, you might disagree with their methodology, but one thing I have consistently asked the government is, wouldn't it be wise to find out why they are agitating? Like Sheikh Husani once said, it bothers him that a man who is or who was once a proud Nigerian will suddenly change and become a person who wants to break Nigeria. That if given the opportunity, he would want to get into the brain of that individual to understand what pushed him to that level of wanting to break away from Nigeria. And I agree. You see, people, there is nothing entirely and utterly wrong if the people of Nigeria decide to, if the people of Nigeria on their own decide to stay together. There is nothing utterly wrong with that. But what the people, and what I understand is that the people are saying they want to have the right. They want to be the ones that make these decisions. And I ask, is it too much to ask? And before I dive into the second topic, which is the one saying that Biafra is not, now Niger Delta is not part of Biafra, according to Edwin Clark. I think I need to put that caveat there. That is from Edwin Clark, that Biafra, Niger Delta is not part of Biafra. Before I get into that second part, I will play his video, but I want us to do something. I know that many of us watching me now, in anger, we're not good listeners. Somebody says something without giving it a deeper thought. You're already insulting, you're already angry. I'm not giving to such. But pay attention, bring down your anger, listen to what the elder statesman, if I may call him by that name, what he's saying. Perhaps it might get you to a point of rethinking strategy. Listen, that which Nigeria did to you is doing to you. Do not, on any account, do it to the other person. If you go by that thinking, you ask yourself, then what am I? then I say, welcome to my world. Because I have engaged in this battle for the past 10 years, there are things I do and I vividly and I know and I understand because I've spoken to the leaders of these areas. And I make a clear and a very clear-cut decision. Maybe you watch this, you understand why people like me insist and stand on two things. Igbo nation, unapologetically so, or the end to the madness, southern Nigeria. It's only when you have, and how do they put it in English? Azotani, where's it's only when you have the portion of the land that you can begin to talk of what you plant or the mat with which you sleep. Thank you very much. Someone just gave a super chat. Who is that person? Just super chat now. Alexander Gomes. Let's together, regardless of your geographical location within Nigeria, make Nigeria great again. Nigeria, without doubt, is the greatest black nation in the world. Thank you very much. So that's your super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. That's the first super chat of the day. You know, so some of you who are saying, how come you gave only some people t-shirts? There are top fans. Sorry, I'm still battling with cold. So now, and again, I have a disclaimer here. My brothers, we make a fundamental error when someone is discussing the plight of Nigerians without insulting others. That does not make the individual a one Nigerianist. It has become so apparent to sometimes address this. I know many of us, maybe at the end of this broadcast, will probably be angry. But maybe in your moment of anger, let your anger spoil you to thinking. Maybe when we begin to give deeper thinking and do deeper thoughts to some of these things, it will aid us and it will get us more clarity. Now, let me bring in Pa Edwin Clark here. On the interview he granted to BBC today, okay? On the interview he granted BBC today, and Pa Edwin Clark has the following to say. Let me bring it.
Out IPOB, their leader, and their agitation to come out from Nigeria?
They are very unrealistic boys. They are not, IPOB to me is not pursuing the right thing. When this war was fought, I told the IPOB leader, he was not born at the time.
You don't meet Nnamdi Kanu before, Chief?
I've never met him, but I've challenged him, and he has also challenged me that I was a slave of the North. That's why he branded me. I told him, he has a good fight, that we are being neglected. The youths of the East have been neglected. The people of the East have been neglected. They have only 5 seats, whereas other regions have 6. One, in fact, had 7. Based on what? Nobody knows. So for every appointment that is being made in this country, the Igbos are shortchanged. If you are distributing universities per seat, they will have 5 seats.
Now, this is clearly to my brothers. Listen attentively to what he is saying. He's talking about Igbos having 5 states. 5 states. He talked about the injustice, structural injustice to Ndi Igbo. Then I asked myself, if we have a clear cut of these things, under the auspices of Ndi Igbo, under the umbrella of Ndi Igbo. What's wrong in addressing it as Ndi Igbo? I don't know if I'm making sense. Why would I engage in a fight where I will be fighting with people in-house? I'm not part of you. You are part of me. You must. You must. At some point, the fight will get as if the things we do in Nigeria does today. Why? Why don't I retain and maintain the one that is clear cut? I hope at the end of this, two things will be very clear to us. Let him continue, Pa. Go ahead.
5 universities. South will have 6. Southwest will have 6. Northwest will have 7. But the Igbos formed the third leg of this country when this country was created. So they had a good fight, they have a good problem. They complain, but not the way they are going about it.
So you don't think, say, the South, they part of that map? Because this is something we talk over and over again. Say if they come out,
that, what is it?
Delta, they part of Biafra.
How can Delta be part of Biafra? In what way? Is Biafra older than Delta? Are they bigger than Delta? How can River State become part of Biafra? No, or Akwa Ibom. They are dreaming, thinking about the eastern region of those days, or pre-independent, the time states were created. So, he's a young man. But let me say this before I finish about IPOC. I hope the federal government will give him a fair and decent trial, open trial. Because I do not understand up to today how the federal government got me back into Nigeria. We remember the days of Omar Diko when he was being created in a big box to be kidnapped to Nigeria. I don't know how this young man was brought back to Nigeria. There are legitimate ways of doing it, legal ways of doing it, by extradition. Where he is, there will be court session to determine whether he committed a political offense or a criminal offense. That will determine whether it will be brought back or not. I do not think these were followed. And I think that the Kenyan government has a duty to tell us, is this boy lying? Was he in Kenya for 8 days with British passport?
But the Kenyan government don't deny, say they know.
No. The man said, I was abducted from Kenya. The man who was saying they were playing politics. During the trial, we will now hear this. Cannot should be made to make a statement to the public. But I do not agree with him, the way he's fighting the fight. You are just killing your people. You must listen to people. Must belong to a different society. That's the way I disagree with him.
Yeah, President Muhammadu Buhari talk for one recent interview, say he get assurance from the elders from the South and also the youth, say South don't get any intention to talk about separation from Nigeria. You be one of those elders. we believe in no separation.
Not a question of being an elder. I'm the leader of the just. The INC was referring to the Just National Congress, where the president led his newly elected executive to. I am the chairman of the board of trustees of that organization. The judge did not give Buhari any assurance.
You know why I'm laughing? I was expecting him to say this. You know, when the president made this comment that necessitated this T-shirt, the dot in the circle, that they've promised them, that they've given them assurances that there will not be access to the sea. On this platform, I gathered the South leaders, and they all debunked it. Now, the foremost elder here, also on this platform via BBC, is debunking the same thing. If it were in our own, when we were small, we would say we don't do you. You know what we normally do? We say we do nta. That's what it could have been. But I'm not going to do nta, because I stick with facts. Now the question is, was the president lying? Or did someone deceive him? Is he aware? Is he aware that these things are happening? Edwin Clark is sitting down here denying that nothing of such was ever said to him. So who did?
All they were saying is that we are part of this country. We are not breaking away from Nigeria. We are part of this country. We have no reason to secede, provided we would belong to a country where all of us are equal. Provided our area will be developed. Provided we will be allowed to participate in the oil industry in our home. This is what they said. So to quote them out of context is unfair and unpatriotic.
So, Chief, if the talk say make we not rule out in the nearest future, South, also coming up with a position, say, then they marginalized and they won't come out.
We are not saying that. Who owns this country? Come out for who? Who owns this country? That I should now pack and go to where? We will fight for our rights here. And we are saying that they should mind their ways of doing things. When we got to the stage of taking our destiny into our own hands, you will know what we want, what we will do.
Yeah, and Chief, recently, just because you mentioned the fight to produce a president from the South then, and that is something where the Southern governors don't, again, talk about and don't decide for recent meeting where they do. They talk about how the next president of Nigeria is supposed to come from the South. You agree with that, their decision?
Oh.
Before he goes into before he goes into answering that question that was posed to him regarding presidency coming to the South, please, we have over 1,000 people watching this stream now, and I only have 162 of you liking this stream. Do me a favor, like, share, support if you can. It doesn't cost you nothing. It costs you nothing. Just click. If you're on Facebook, make that like button turn blue. Just that's it. Make the like button turn blue. If you're on YouTube, kindly do the same. Just close the chat, close the chat box and click on like. Share with others. You can share on WhatsApp, on everywhere you want to share. Let others know that this conversation is taking. Oh, thank you. 213. That's more like it. 1,200 people watching both YouTube and Facebook, and we, only 10% just liked. Oh, thank you very much. Anastasia Morkene says he liked and shared. You can't restructure Nigeria ideology of the Fulani, says James Lincoln. Again, I'll come to that, because at the end of this, I'll take some of your questions before we wrap it up. But let's allow Edwin Clark to go ahead with his submission.
Yes. Listen, this country we are, now we all get more.
True, now we all get
not be one person, not one group of people.
No, lie, we know the wrong.
When Lugard signed an agreement, bring us together in 1914, he did not say that the North should be senior partner of that amalgamation. The South should be the junior partner, or the North should be the husband, and the South should be the wife. There was nothing like that. It was an equal agreement that you are all equal, come together. That's what happened. But we knew that the British government at that time, and I'm happy that the BBC, were helping the Northerners.
Sorry, before you go on with the Northerners, something has happened now that has never happened on this platform. Alexander T.C. Egente. I never knew that Nigeria can also send super chat. Wow, this is a Obi Kubana. Obi Kubana in the chat section. Thank you very much, Alexander, from Nigeria with Naira. Ewo conversion rate. But I quite appreciate that. That is something that has never happened on this platform. The first super chat from Nigeria. Sometimes I actually thought the super chat only worked for those in the diaspora, but I never knew it worked for those in Nigeria as well. Honestly, I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
To dominate the South. And that's where we find ourselves today. But we have been telling them, this cannot continue forever. The first prime minister we have in this country, equivalent to Mr. President, was Agitators from Bauchi State, Northeast. So when the Northeast people came recently that they have not produced a president of this country, it's a lie.
Okay, Chief. You've clearly stated.
So now what we are saying,
that it should come back to the
South. It
South.
should go to the South now that Buhari has ruled for 8 years.
And his administration is
in 2023.
Okay, Chief. So let's talk about something else.
But I am surprised, because before he has always been very clear when he says South. He says Southeast. You can see many videos that he has said such. But this one, he only said South. I hope this thing that I'm hearing with Jonathan is not true. But again, let's continue. What do I know? I'm only a content creator, isn't it?
The Southern governors also talk about from waiting happen for the National Assembly, the Senate and the House of Reps on the PIB bill. But the Southern governors reject the 3% revenue for host communities where they produce oil. Say no, they enough, so now 5% they want. You support their decision?
Well, 100%. I support their decision. Even when they said they were ready to accept 5%, I disagree with them. We want 10%. 10% equity of the allocation. Equity shares of the company. We want to be part of the oil industry. The Northerners who are today having all the oil blocks, who are the owners of the oil industry, who maintain, control it, they don't produce any oil. Not a pint of oil. They don't. Most of them who benefit from this oil, they don't know what crude oil looks like. Not the people. For instance, in 2005, when we had the same problem at the political conference, reform conference held in Abuja here at the International Conference Center. I was the leader of the South South. This same issue came up. We produced a paper at that conference, and one of it was that to show who are the people benefiting from the oil we have without contributing a kobo to the economy of the country by form of oil production. And we discovered that North Central, they get about 48 billion naira yearly, but they don't contribute a kobo to the revenue of Nigeria Federation account, apart from what is produced, other charges, custom, and so on. We're talking about oil and gas. Northwest, they took about 49% billions. They don't contribute a kobo. Northeast, they took about 45%. They didn't contribute anything. Southwest, they took away about 49 billion naira a year. They contributed less than 4%. In Ondo, where the jaws and the largest are, at the water side of Ondo. Then the southeast, between Imbo and Abia, they contributed about 2.5% at that time. And they got only 35 billion naira. Where the south, plus the 13%, we got about 140% billion. How much did we contribute? More than 91.5% did the cover.
Basically saying it, Niger Delta is the region that lays the golden egg. The region that lays the golden egg. Does it now make sense to you when people talk about that they want to, again, I read comments here. I mean, sorry, please. If not for anything, you might disagree with Pa Edwin Clark. But one thing I would not encourage us to do is to insult. Please. Let us respectfully disagree with individuals. I disagree with him. Some of the things he says, I disagree with him, but I can't insult him. Come on. If not for anything, Pa Edwin Clark, I think, is about 92 or thereabout. Is it because he's this strong? I think Edwin Clark, Tanko Yakasai, Paya Adebanjo, Woloshenka may be the youngest of them all. But still, look at how strong they are. So, no matter how I disagree with these men, I will never insult them. But intellectually and based on stance and, principles, there are, each one of them I can tell you where I disagree with their stance. But I can never. So I beg you, reading this comment, please, can we calm down, people? Can we stop the insult? Because you can't just come here and just be calling. And I don't want to block people, please. I don't want to. Because there is no need. There is no need to block. We are here as matured people having a conversation to enlighten ourselves to know better. His speech is coming to an end. Then we get me to discuss this issue of Niger Delta not being part of Biafra. Just stay with me. Once more, if you're joining me for the first time and you're seeing my face for the first time, I am Mazes, okay? And this is Njenje Media TV, the only platform on this planet that galvanizes all the people of the oppressed everywhere in the world. Again, if you're oppressed, your region is oppressed, your state, your family, you're at the right place. because we give voice to the voiceless. We explore the truth behind every headlines you read. If you want a platform where there is no propaganda, there is no lies, subscribe to this channel. If you want a propaganda where you'll be told lies, where propaganda will be the key, please, you kindly move away. We do not want that because we want to keep things civil. So let's quickly round up with this. So again, for many of you who just joined us now, you can kindly please like this stream, share this video, and support this platform if you wish to do so. Thank you very much. And Edwin Clark.
Here today, we are the poorest. Have you ever seen where wealth is produced in your backyard and you are the poorest? You are the most neglected. Those who benefit from the oil come from other areas. Today, the oil flows through my backyard. If I want something benefit from it, I have to travel to Dar to meet Mr. President Muhammad Buhari. Can I benefit from this oil?
And that is, see, that's the thing that makes me, that's the thing that gets me. That's the thing that gets me. Why, just like Alaska in the United States, Alaska, they can do with whatever they want with their oil. It's not owned by, they contribute what to the feds. Why can't the Niger Delta own this oil? It is theirs. Let's say they own it, and someone, when people ask me, in as much as I understand, oh yeah, they got 13% derivation. What have they done with it? So because you get your money, whose business is it? What you have a palm wine, you have a palm trees in your house. You tap the wine. Whose business is what you do with it? If you want, you pour it away. It is your palm wine. If you want, you sell it. If you want, you drink it. If I have one in my house now, that's what I'll be doing. But it is actually insulting to ask a man, a grown-up man, a grown-up ass man to say, oh, what are you doing with your 13%? So you that is sharing every other thing. Because if you do not restructure this country to that regional and as it is today, to the realities of the 6 geopolitical regions, many of you will disagree. But until we do that, that is 1963 with the current realities. That's where I stand for. Because if you do that, that gives me my Igbo nation. That's all I ask for. Some say it's 5 state house. Of course, yes, that it is. It gives me, if we want to build 1 airport per street, I want to have the right to do that. If we want to put 50 toll gates from Onitsha to Enugu, it gives me the right to do that. It's none of your freaking business anymore. How can someone sit down in Sokoto, in Daura, or in Abeokuta and decide what is going to happen in Ebonyi State? It doesn't make sense. In the name of federal projects. How is it that something is happening in Imo or in Ibadan or you're in Castina and you're waiting for an incompetent federal policing unit to come and save you? Is it not the same thing we're talking about? People should have the right to do things and do the right thing that they deem for themselves. If the people of Castina want to be cutting their hand, if the short sleeve here no longer is not enough, they want to be cutting from here. So be it. The day you see me in Castina, arrest me because I'm not interested. But for Christ's sake, allow me to decide how I want to live in my dotted nation. Allow me. It is always simplistic that many of us will comment, oh, why is he complaining? No, these are things, if it was that easy, to go take the oil, again, when you go blow up the oil pipeline, you're going to just cause more environmental degradation. You're still going to suffer more. If it was that easy, to get out of poverty, maybe the people of Zamfara, the people of Castina, the home of the presidents, will not be suffering the way they are suffering today. Again, A clear definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting to have different result. No, you get the same result. The time to unbundle the entity called Nigeria is now. Unbundle the entity called Nigeria to save lives, to save unborn children, to save the future generations. Let the Oduduwa nation be a nation of their own and stay on their own. Bear in mind that there was a time we had this. That's what we asked for, to go back to the way it was. Oduduwas, they want to have ambassadors in Benin Republic. So be it. So that's as long as they can afford it. They want to have ambassadors and move with their own Odua passport. So be it. But my one, I want to move with my own Igbo nation passport. It's not too much to ask. And at least because we know there is one thing that is very common. No one disagrees that, oh, the Igbos, we know where they are. The Yorubas, we know where they are. But when we talk about this, talk about Biafra, just like he said at the beginning, you see this bad blood, a lot of talks here, there. And my people, my Igbo people, make fundamental mistake that sometimes we appear, many of you won't like it, but hey, who cares? And this truth must be said. Sometimes we are too careless that we do not pay attention to the feeling of others. They want to talk about, whoever is calling me now, please, I'm not taking any call. So you want others, you say you are this. And I've asked this question before. Some of you say, oh, we are indigenous, we are Biafrans. And I'm like, okay, which one came first? Igbo or Biafra, if you want to look at it? Because at the end of the day, Biafra still remains part of the, still a Western conjuncture, the Portuguese. But before even the Portuguese set forth their feet, this place, my ancestors were here. And they were the Asian people, Igbo, Igbo. That when the white man came, some mistakenly referred to them as IBO. Some, if you read the Echo and Nos book, it refers to them as Ebo, EBO. Whether Ebo, but now the pronunciations, the writings, everything is being corrected, and they are Ndi Igbo, a people of Igbo. Simple as that. Yes, there is need for collaborations, but why would I be hung on this collaboration with my brothers? I call them brothers because that's what they are. Blood brothers. When you talk about Eche, Ikwere people, some of them, some, not all, some are actually from the mainland Igbo nation. Some were people that were left at the riverine area when the slave trade was abolished. Some have genuine reasons to get angry with their Igbo brothers because they were sold. When we begin to tell ourselves the truth, and when we begin to give people the same rights that we demand from Nigeria, it tells you that if I can look Nigeria in the eye today and say, I am not part of you, do not classify me as part of you, then someone is telling you, I am not part of you, do not classify me. You say, no, you are an idiot, you are Sabo, you are this, Has it not occurred to you that the same thing you're crying, the same injustice you're crying that the Nigerian as a nation is doing to you is what you've just, done to another person? Where is that right freedom to decide? Again, I hope it will be very clear to you why I consistently insist on the Igbo nation, the dotted nation. Unapologetically so. I'm on your dot. So, Pa, again, you knew it that you own oil, you have nothing in return yet. It's agitation. Something must give way. Many of you didn't know that, even when during the Oputa panel, that even Buhari was barred. Do you know what it means that Buhari was barred from public office, holding public office? But these reports are coming out. I will show us later. Let Pa finish, then before we round up, I will show us. And those that brought him now are enjoying. They're enjoying it. Sadly, some of those that brought him are those that are now saying, no, we no do again. But when we were saying it that time, oh, it's hatred. You, this one, every time you say this, every time you say this. When you're not fit for purpose, you're not fit for purpose. Simple as that. When you're not fit for purpose, there is no two ways about it.
We say yes, provided you are APC member.
Okay. Let's talk about some other national issues
Okay,
now.
go
Make we
ahead.
talk about insecurity, because that now one big issue where Nigeria they battle with, from the southeast, where you see attacks on police formations and police officers and security officers, to the south, where we have they see issues of kidnapping, southwest, farmers, herders clashes, northwest, the issues of banditry and kidnappings, and the southeast, where Boko Haram is still a big problem. How you go assess the response of the federal and state government to tackle all these issues
Which issues?
of insecurity?
Insecurity is a national issue that is actually eating into the fabric of this nation. And if we do not take time, we will have no country to show for it. So it is not a matter for political parties, not a matter for the executive alone, not a matter for National Assembly. It's a matter for all citizens of Nigeria. But unfortunately, power is in the hand of the executive and the National Assembly. All we are saying, provide enough material for our soldiers to fight. We have fought in other countries. We have fought in the Congo. We even fought in Europe, in Pakistan, in Asia. We fought in Africa, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Congo. Why today, the Nigerian soldiers that are held very high in other parts of the world, today we cannot even conquer Boko Haram for 13 years, going to 20 years now. So it's a shame to all of us. It's an embarrassment to all of us. But unfortunately, the federal government is not taking this matter serious enough. Provide money. This is the time when extra budgetary should be made for the war. But unfortunately, those who are commanding those armies, those forces in those times, most of them were regarded not being clean, not being transparent. So the amount voted to buy weapons and so on, in most cases, they bought expired products from Eastern Europe, Ukraine, and other places. And again, the ambassadors, you remember the case whereby a general sent soldiers to carry 400 and something billion naira in a vehicle, and they were caught. What did they do to the general? What type of punishment did they give to him?
So that is the end of it. Now, people, my concluding thoughts. Very simple. As he stated at the beginning, he said that Niger Delta is not part of Biafra. Then I asked myself, I will leave us with the following words. You walk into a man's household, you see his family picture hanging on the wall. He has 5 children, 3 boys and 2 girls, with a wife. A very happy, enlarged picture. You walk in there and you start shouting, why am I not in this picture? Why am I not in this picture? And the man comes out and asks, are you part of this household? Do not give me the answer. I am not part of this household. For those who believe that we are justified in demanding that we return, because the way it is now, it appears that when you talk about a referendum to give the people the right to make their decision, you've been tagged an agitator, charged with treason. It has left me with 2 options. An option 1, which I preferred about 3 years ago, 2017, and I have never changed. Actually, recent event has actually reinforced my belief in that solution. That solution is very simple. Southern Nigeria. Call it Southern Nigeria Republic. Call it whatever you want. I don't bloody care. But that the people of South, by virtue of what the governors are now doing, should not only think to stop at the realm of just countering the North, but to also think deeper that if push comes to shove, we stay on our own and decide how we govern ourselves. That which they reject us, we come together and decide how we govern ourselves. On that note, I say thank you very much for joining me this evening. That's the much I can take. Once more, my name is Mazes, okay? If you may, please kindly share this stream. Subscribe to this channel if this is your first time, or if you've been returning but you haven't subscribed. That will give you the opportunity the moment you click on the bell icon that whenever I come online, you're going to have the notification that I am online. I'm just that many of you will go to bed. That's the reason I'm just basically stopping. But again, I promised us that before I go, I will share this to us. That there is a document that came out today indicating when Buhari was asked, when the Puta panel recommended that Buhari and anyone who had ever got involved in the Nigerian or these military junta should not be given the right to ever govern Nigeria again. I share this with us, and we'll call it a day, people. So that's, if you want, again, if you go to my Twitter handle, you can see this. I shared it on my Twitter handle. My Twitter handle is Mazi Ezoke, at Mazi Ezoke. So you can see that here. You go there, you read it. Let me expand this. Oputa panel recommended that Buhari and other heads of military juntas should be barred from holding public offices. We disobeyed the wise man Oputa and his panel. Went and brought the oracle. Now everyone is complaining. When I never see anything, enjoy the change. So if you go, you see part of that report. The report has it here. The Oputa panel recommended that, that's the highlighted area, the military rulers be considered to have surrendered their rights to govern Nigeria since they had refused to honor the subpoenas to appear before. Now, they refuse to honor. Does it ring bell why they are refusing also to address you as a nation when you have presidents who also refuses to address you? You look at this, Daily Independent or Independent newspaper also published it. The report of the commission, nicknamed the Oputa panel, was suppressed by the current Nigerian government for more than 2 years and was finally brought to light by Washington DC-based civil society organization, the Nigerian Democratic Movement, who published it on their website. Its findings, recommendations. The former rulers, Ibrahim Babangida, Mohammed Buhari, and Absalami Abubakar, be barred from holding public offices in Nigeria. But Unamumu no do. Una go bring back Oracle, we don't retire. Now, the house, you don't set the house on fire. Everybody don't dey cry. Yakba, 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 yakba. After this, maybe we go receive sense. No retreat, no surrender. We still hope and we must continue that we get back to 1963 with the current geopolitical realities. On that note, I say once more, everyone, thank you for being part of this podcast. It's my pleasure, and I do not take your time for granted. I am still Mazi Ezekiel.